Japan nuclear junk shot, another physical manifestation of the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 8, verse 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. 11. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many humans died of the waters, because they were made bitter. 12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. 13. And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. Diaper absorbent, used to try to plug nuclear leak. The effort to contain Japan's nuclear crisis on Sunday comes to this. Engineers mixed together sawdust, shredded newspapers, and chemicals used in diapers in the hopes that would plug a radioactive leak into the sea. It sounds quite similar to the junk shot they tried last year on the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, which was the second angel, as mentioned in the book of Revelation. A first attempt at the desperate experiment failed. Japan's Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency said, We were hoping the polymers would function like diapers, but are yet to see a visible effect, said a NISA spokesman. Engineers mixed nearly 20 pounds of a chemical absorbent, 130 pounds of sawdust, and 3 garbage bags of shredded newspapers into pipes, leading to a pit connected to the Unit 2 reactor, NISA stated. This is also another long-term rolling disaster. The absorbent, like those used to soak liquid in diapers, can expand to 50 times its normal size when combined with water. Engineers were stirring the mix in an attempt to get it to expand. Earlier, a concrete patch failed to stop the tainted water spewing from a crack in the pit. The Fukushima Daiichi plant has been leaking radioactivity since the March 11th tsunami carved a path of destruction along Japan's northeastern coast, taking more than 25,000 people and knocking out key cooling systems that kept it from overheating. People living within 12 miles of the plant have been forced to abandon their homes. The government said Sunday it will be at least several months before the radiation stops and permanent cooling systems are restored. Even after that happens, there will be years of work ahead to clean up the area around the complex and figure out what to do with it. In other words, this is one of the worst disasters that has ever happened. It would take at least a few months until we finally get things under control and have a better idea about the future, said a NISA spokesman. We'll face a crucial turning point within the next few months, but that is not the end. His agency said the timetable is based on the first step, pumping radioactive water into tanks, being completed as soon as possible, and the second, restoring cooling systems, being done within a matter of weeks or months. That is, if all goes well. For now, every day brings some new problem at the plant, where workers have often been forced to retreat from repair efforts because of high radiation levels. On Sunday, plant operator Tokyo Electric Power Company announced it found the bodies of 2 workers missing since the tsunami. Radiation, debris, and explosions kept workers from finding them until Wednesday, and then the announcement was delayed several days out of respect for their families. TEPCO officials said they believe the workers ran down to a basement to check equipment after the magnitude 9.0 earthquake that preceded the tsunami. They were there then when the massive wave swept over the plant. It pains us to have lost these 2 young workers who are trying to protect the power plant amid the earthquake and tsunami, a TEPCO chairman said in a statement. On Saturday, workers discovered an 8-inch crack in a maintenance pit at Unit 2 and said they believe water from it may be the source of some of the high levels of radioactive iodine that have been found in the ocean for more than a week. Yes, it's getting into the water cycle and is spreading around the world in some kind of way. This is the first time they have found radioactive water leaking directly into the sea. A picture released by TEPCO shows water shooting some distance away from a wall and splashing into the ocean, though the amount is not clear yet. No other cracks have been found so far. The radioactive water dissipates quickly in the ocean, but could be dangerous to workers at the plant. Meanwhile, tens and tens of thousands of people are still living in shelters. 200,000 households do not have water, and 170,000 do not have electricity. Overhead and throughout the coastal region, helicopters and planes roared by as United States and Japanese forces finished their all-out search for more bodies. The effort, which ended Sunday, is probably the final hope for retrieving the dead, though limited operations may continue. It has turned up nearly 50 bodies in the past 2 days. In all, more than 12,000 deaths have been confirmed, and another 15,500 people are still missing. May the Lord rest their souls. Again, highly radioactive water is leaking directly into the sea from a damaged pit near a crippled reactor at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, Japanese safety officials have said in the latest setback in the increasingly difficult bid to regain control of the reactors. Although higher than normal levels of radiation have been detected in the ocean water near the plant in recent days, the breach, discovered Saturday, is the first identified direct leak of such high levels of radiation into the sea. The leak, found at a maintenance pit near the plant's number 2 reactor, is a fresh reminder of the dangerous side effects of the strategy to cool the reactors and spent fuel storage pools by pumping hundreds of tons of water a day into them. While much of that water has evaporated, a significant portion has also turned into runoff. Radioactive water is getting into the Earth's water cycle. The more water they add, the more problems they are generating, said a consultant to the nuclear energy industry and a former engineer with General Electric. It's just a matter of time before the leaks into the ocean grow. It is crucial to keep cooling the fuel rods, but on the other hand, these leaks are very dangerous. They can't let the plant keep leaking high amounts of radiation for much longer. Plant workers discovered a crack approximately 8 inches wide in the maintenance pit, which lies between the number 2 reactor and the sea, and holds cables used to power seawater pumps. Japan's nuclear regulator has said the space directly above the water leaking into the sea had a radiation reading of more than 1,000 millisieverts per hour, a level that could be dangerous to humans. Saturday's announcement of a leak came a day after the United States Energy Secretary Stephen Chu said that roughly 70% of the core of one reactor at the Fukushima plant had suffered severe damage. The statement was the most specific yet from an American official on how close the plant came to a full meltdown after it was hit by a severe earthquake and massive tsunami on March 11th. Other reactors have also suffered some damage. Another physical manifestation of the book of Revelation, and all these are more signs of the times. Revelation chapter 16, verse 4. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became as blood. 5. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which are, and was, and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. 6. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. 7. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch humans with fire. 9. And humans were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. Yes, again, these are more signs of the end times, transition days, which is a continuing, day-by-day process of extraordinary happenings, events, and changes. It's time because everything is connected and everything is numbered.